with how Celtics are going to have a very busy upcoming offseason, with how Danny Ainge is going to try and make some roster moves, and with how they have 3 first-round picks in this upcoming draft. If the Celtics are able to get the right players in free agency, this team can easily be the favorite to come out of the East next season. And this is why the Celtics front office have to carefully decide who they want to go for in free agency. Considering how the Celtics already have $95 million in guaranteed contracts, with Gordon Hayward also most likely opting into his contract, the Celtics are going to be strapped for cash. But this doesn't mean that they can't find steals in the market. As we take a look at the Celtics roster, the first free agent that the Celtics should try to sign in free agency is Jeff Teague. Now this might be a huge reach because I don't think Jeff Teague will take a massive discount in the veterans minimum. But if Teague is willing to do this, this would be such a massive steal for the Celtics. As I mentioned before in a couple of my Celtics videos, the Celtics have a serious issue with their point guard position. During the regular season and in the playoffs, Kemba Walker had the second highest on-off swing behind upcoming superstar Jason Tatum. Now it's understandable that there will be a drop-off when a star player like Kemba comes off the court. But as Rajon Rondo showed us in the playoffs, a good floor general can come in off the bench and help steady the ship until the star players come back in. And this is exactly what Jeff Teague would be able to provide for the Celtics. In a somewhat limited role with the Minnesota Timberwolves this past season, Teague averaged 13.2 points, 2.6 rebounds, and 6.1 assists per game in only 27 minutes. Teague will be able to score the ball, help set up other teammates, and better facilitate the offense at a much higher rate than what Brad Wanamaker would ever be able to do for the Celtics. And it also helps that Teague shoots the 3-point shot at a 37.9% clip in the situation where he'd have to play with the streaky Marcus Smart at the same time. It makes sense for the Celtics, but it's up to Teague if he wants to give up that money to play for a finals contender. The second free agent that the Celtics should be extremely interested in signing in? Robin Lopez. Now the names of Aaron Baines and Serge Ibaka would be much better than Lopez, but at the end of the day, the Celtics again don't have the cap to sign players like this. But as we go to talk about Robin, the other clear problem that the Celtics had this past postseason came through their center position. As I mentioned in one of my other videos before, while Bam Adebayo is a special young talent in this league, the Celtics just presented him with more of a matchup advantage with the lack of a true defensive center to help plug the paint. Robin Lopez would be able to solve all of this. Being 7 foot tall, he wouldn't pose a matchup advantage compared to the likes of Robert Williams and Daniel Theis, who are both undersized at the 5 position at being 6'9". And by how Lopez averaged around a block per game in only 14 minutes for the best rim protecting team in the NBA, he should fit in nicely with the Celtics. But honestly, the area that I'm really intrigued in Robin is how, like his brother, he has shown the hints of being able to shoot the 3-point shot. Though he only shot 33% and it was only 1.6 attempts per game, I see this more of a huge risk reward that the Celtics need to bank upon. You paid a veteran's minimum for him, and if he shows the ability to shoot well and protect the rim, an amazing steal. If he can only just protect the rim, it's still a great cheap contract for a big man to solve their problem. Keep an eye out for Robin Lopez. The final player that the Celtics should want to sign in free agency? Danilo Gallinari. Now the only reason why Danilo is even in a video like this is due to how Danilo recently mentioned that he'd be willing to take a massive cut in his contract in order to play for a championship contending team. If that's the case, the Celtics might be the best fit for Danilo in terms of both being able to get minutes and playing on that championship contending team. Now the Celtics during the postseason, they lack the bench that's needed to be able to keep their teams in games. Danilo would be able to change all of these problems quickly. Though he doesn't score in the fashion that you'd expect a 6-man to be able to, Danilo can be an amazing 6-man scorer for the Celtics through his high IQ of the game and his unique versatility on the offensive end. Now Danilo isn't that good of a defender, but considering how the Celtics ranked in the top 5 this past season, the Celtics and Brad Stevens can easily be able to hide him on the defensive end. Just think about it for a second. A healthy Gordon Hayward if he's still on the team, and Danilo Gallinari. This might be the least talked about, yet one of the most effective duos in a recent while. Let me know what you guys think. Until next time, peace.